And yeah.
Good morning and good evening to all of you. It's another special episode. And Meek, is that electric fan?
Oh, yeah. Sorry. It's too hot in here, so yeah. Apologize.
You gotta man up, Meek. Man up.
Gotta sweat till it's done.
All right. So it's a special episode again. International episode once more. This is our second one, and we have uh on our side right now, standing for what is right and good, our own superhero, and we can say that he's a superhero on his own. Stanley Bostwick from BLEAKHEAVEN Comics. There you go. Welcome to our podcast.
Thanks. I appreciate you letting me on.
Yeah. While we're at it, we can probably share the live stream right now. So
Okay, let's share the live on our Facebook.
hopefully we can get more subscribers to our YouTube, so we can reach.
And viewers right now, because today it's not only a great comics, but we're gonna talk about something that is honorable, I think.
Yeah, it's an important thing to me and my team for sure.
Let me share you the link as well. Here you
Okay,
go,
so,
Stan.
Okay. Okay, so Stanley, again, thank you for giving us for accepting our invitation and be our guest here. So, can you tell us something more of your work right now?
A little bit about yourself, so that our local audience would know something more about you.
Okay. So I'll just tell you how BLEAKHEAVEN Comics got started. I originally grew up in a super small town in rural Idaho, which is, if for your audience, it's just a lot of potato fields and cows. And so that's where I grew up, and I always was interested in comic books. I was a big nerd, Star Wars, that sort of stuff. And I actually, in middle school, got bullied for reading like Star Trek and X-Men comics and stuff. So that's kind of why, we're going to lead into that later. So I went to school down in Utah because I live in Salt Lake City, Utah. I went to school for art originally. I wanted to be an artist, and then I switched over to English. I wanted to do writing, and then I went to another school, and I went to film school because I decided I was going to be a director. And then when I kind of finished that, I settled in my job, and my wife and I had been talking about BLEAKHEAVEN for a long time. We wanted to make something interesting and fun, and it was just something we kind of did together with us and a few friends making these stories. And then we kind of got to a point where I realized that it would make a really cool TV show. So we wanted to do an animated TV show, and that was really difficult to try to get that off the ground. We didn't get any traction. We didn't get anywhere with it. So we decided, we know artists. My brother's an artist. He's the head artist of BLEAKHEAVEN. We decided to do comic books. And so that's why when we did our first issue, I'll show it here.
There you go.
Yep, this is our first issue. Welcome to BLEAKHEAVEN #1. This is an anthology series that just covers kind of some different people and places within the comic book or within the story, the main story that we're doing. And it is a flip book, so the second one's on the back as well. Oh. So, yeah. And then, sorry, go ahead.
I think that's really something new. I think in the Philippines, in our local scene, we haven't had that. I think we don't have really like a flip book version of comics. Have you encountered such, Mick, in our scene? Like
Yeah,
a flip book?
I think there was an issue of culture crush before that has
Ah,
uh, but it's mostly divided on like the comic book one and the Citricon side, the event one. I don't know if you're familiar with that issue.
okay, but on our current scene, right, we don't have that. But thank you for pointing that out that we have that. Like, that's a long time ago. That's the Culture Crush comics, Stan, is like one of our inspirations. Like, it was a comic, and it's a comic magazine that we grew up with.
That's awesome.
So seeing that again, it's like it's something new right now in the scene, and that's
Mhm.
pretty cool as well. Like, you got issue 1 and issue 2 back to back.
Yeah. Yeah,
That's
we did that. A
something-
lot of people have commented on that and asked me why I did that. And honestly, it was a logistical thing because this was my first comic book. So I was like, I need to make it short. I need to make it shorter. So I wrote 2 short stories and stuck them together in one comic book just so it would be easier for me to be able to distribute and get it out there. So, but it seems to be a good choice.
Yeah, definitely. I think also. Oh, so if it's a short, 2 short stories in one.
Yeah. So this one is there's the first one that's a short story, and then I'll show you the middle. It's separated by a letter I did. I wrote a letter sort of thing, like a Stanley's kind of soapbox deal, and then on the other side is the poster to indicate you've reached the end of the story.
Nice.
So
And
yeah,
then- and then the other one, is it a continuation? Is it or another? It's a different thing.
So it's 2 different stories. The first one is called The Skullivan, and it covers one of our main heroes, the Skullivan, in the book. I don't know if you see that. So I'll show you some of the interior artwork. But yeah, it shows him, and he goes out and he fights in a graveyard. So it's an introduction to his character and the locations of BLEAKHEAVEN, because as you can see, he's in a cathedral here.
Nice.
And then the second issue kind of goes over a cult
Oh,
in the city of BLEAKHEAVEN.
okay.
I'll try not to spoil too much, but there's like demons and monsters and
Oh my god, that's a
This
really
guy-
cool character design.
Yeah.
some fun stuff.
Okay,
Show a little bit there.
upon checking that, I think it's a really good introductory issue regarding the world building, character introduction, and all. So when they see the hero, definitely they wanted more, and also wanted to know more about what's going to happen and what are the other evil deeds that those cults gonna do in the freaking future, man.
Yeah. They a lot of people have asked me like, "Oh, do these guys fight each other? Do they meet up?" And I'm like, "You'll just have to read and find out."
Yeah, just have to read and find out.
And that's what this series is this first. It's a short series. Is our flagship series. Is Welcome to BLEAKHEAVEN. Is just that it's an introductory thing. So the next issue covers 2 more characters and sort of the gangs, the like crime lord aspect of the city. And then there's one about a scientist in the city, and then the other characters. So each issue kind of tackles a different topic or category or aspect of BLEAKHEAVEN in general. And BLEAKHEAVEN is the city that all this stuff takes place in.
I don't want to live there.
I wouldn't either. There's a lot of monsters. That's one of my favorite things about monsters, or about BLEAKHEAVEN, is we use a lot of folklore, and because we've all seen like the werewolves and the vampires and zombies.
That's
and
right.
stuff. So there's like this rich wealth of folklore and history and interesting myths and legends from all over the world, and that's really something that I really enjoy about BLEAKHEAVEN, is taking these monsters and kind of making them fit into my own world.
Oh, man, I think that's the same thing. Like what do you call that? That ties our even though that we came from different places, you're from the West, we're from here,
Mhm.
and our love for those mythical creatures, monsters that we incorporate in our own works. I think that's the similar thing that made us love each other's world creation and comics.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. It's so cool. You guys are in the Philippines, correct?
That is
Yeah.
right.
Okay. I just didn't. I figured I just didn't want to go off of it. I love Filipino folklore. It's some of my favorite. Like you guys have some of the coolest monsters, and I actually have my favorite Filipino monster is the Manananggal,
Oh
and,
my
Oh,
god.
and I've actually put one in BLEAKHEAVEN. I don't know if I can. I can try to send you
Sure,
a
sure.
picture of one.
Send it
Um,
to
I'll just do it
send
on
it over.
Facebook real quick.
Sure, sure.
well, maybe you can share your screen so we can
Oh, maybe.
show it. But it's interesting to
I'll pull it up real quick first.
Yeah,
it's
take your
interesting for
time.
you to yeah, I guess it's very interesting for you to add some Filipino myth because like something like the Manananggal, I guess it's pretty much the main the
One
main
of the
monster.
famous, yeah, one of the
Yeah,
famous monsters here in our country. Oh my god.
It's one of the coolest, I think. Here, I'll share my screen and show you. Let's see if that's working.
Yeah, yeah, and
Well,
also
okay.
the
So yeah, this is our Manananggal.
um
If you can see it.
is it showing, Mick?
I don't.
I think we
Maybe.
still have. I
I
think
think
we
it's
still.
oh, there it is. I got it. How's that?
There you go.
Yeah.
It's loading now.
Oh,
Oh my.
well, very interesting Manananggal.
Yeah, you
Yes.
you got the splitting of the lower and upper torso.
Yeah,
Yeah, you got it. But this one is really a man nananggal.
yeah. So this guy, it's a male version. Yeah,
It's a male version. Yeah, usually the Manananggal is a woman. It's a
hmm
beautiful woman in the daylight, and then when it comes to the night, it will put oil on its body and separate. But
yeah.
good take on this one. Really scary, gore. Hey, got the intestines hanging around. That's right. So
And like I said, I just want to I kind of wanted to take the story, the root of the story, and kind of mold it into something fun.
yeah, yeah. Hey, this is quite a fun surprise there, Stanley. Are you holding this? Holding this want to show it to us?
Well, I'm glad you guys like it.
Yeah, I really like it actually.
No,
It's
me.
very cool to see different variations of the Manananggal.
Uh,
It's
me,
very
I hate it. I hate it. I hate it that I love it. That's really cool though. Really cool though. I think so. This guy, what's his name?
His name is Carl.
The Carl the
Oh,
Manananggal.
Yeah.
And Carl will be shown in future issues.
Yeah. So he will be in a issue of BLEAKHEAVEN. Yeah, I have him planned for a few different stories. He's kind of I kind of took it on as sort of he's not really a demon, so I kind of sorry, I'm stuttering a lot, but I've kind of combined the Manananggal and sort of a Western kind of vampire at the same time with him. So he's more of an anti-hero, sort of like a Morbius kind of character, rather than just a pure evil monster.
All right, all right. I see, I see. There's something to look forward to and more character depth in this guy right here.
Yeah, for sure. I like Carl a lot, and I just gave him the name Carl because I thought it was funny. But
Yeah. I'm not sure I'm gonna be if I'm a bad guy and he's an anti-hero. I'm not sure if I'm gonna be scared. We're first time that we confront. Of course, I'm gonna be scared of the appearance and all because of how the Manananggal looks. But
Yeah.
when I'm a bad guy, oh no, don't hurt me. So, what's your name, sir? Carl.
I'm Carl. Yeah.
And yeah, and I think we expect something for his name to be like what do you call this?
Greg?
Reaper or something like
Yeah,
Soul
something-
Father. But
Something
then
really comic booky.
and then when you ask him what's your name, I'm a bad guy and I'm Carl.
That's a fun twist on that. Maybe the last name will be pretty cool.
Yeah,
Anyway.
maybe. I haven't given him a last name yet, though. He's kind of new.
Mhm. Yeah, but really cool character design. And upon checking the preview pages, the sneak peeks that you've let us see, those are really cool colors. You have a really good team going on, Stanley.
I am incredibly lucky to have the team I have because we've got some great artists and some great writers on board. I can kind of here. Let me here. I'll go to something.
Sure, definitely
Well-
have the stage and show me what you got.
I think I can announce this one. Well, kind of announce. I haven't posted it on Facebook or anything, but I don't mind sharing it now because I'm going to post on it shortly if I can find the stupid thing.
Oh,
Here it is.
oh.
So have
You're
you guys
good, you're
heard of have you guys ever heard of Walden Wong?
Mm.
He's an artist for Marvel and DC.
Okay.
I just 1 second. Sorry. Anyway, so he's done some work for us. Have you guys ever read Superman Red Sun?
Is he the guy?
He's the inker on Superman Red Sun. And a
Okay.
bunch of other like Justice League, Spider-Man, that sort of thing.
All right.
So this one, let's see.
Oh wait.
Oh, sorry. There's this is Bert the Mothman. He's the character of our he's the main character of our charity book that we're working on now.
Mm-hmm. All right. So, a backstory before we jump into this really cool artwork. So, Stanley and I were on the same FB group that has all sorts of different art styles and comic book creators and lovers.
A lot of really
And-
cool people there.
A lot of really cool people. And I think you posted about the cover of Bert the Mothman, this guy right here.
Yeah. I think it
Mhm.
was. This image. Sorry, I'll pull up that image. I think I showed.
Oh yeah, definitely. Please do. Yeah. The-
Right, so there's that
Yeah.
one.
mhm.
Yeah, I think this was the one.
That's the
Oh.
one. And you know me, Mick. I love character designs. I love monsters.
Yeah.
And I searched for it, and I'm looking for something that I can do my own style. And I messaged this guy, like, thank you so much for answering. Hey, really, I want him to pay me to do a cover. But upon checking on his website and the thing that this book is gonna be and what it stands for, and I say, hey, I'm go with that. I'm good with what you believe in, and I'm gonna let you talk about it, Stanley. And I did a cover for them as well. But in the future, I'm gonna show it be used in the future. But tell us more something about this charity book that you have. Let's talk about that.
Okay, great. So the story is a few months ago, my wife and I were leaving a store locally, and we saw some people with a booth for a charity called Stand for the Silent, and they were very aggressive. They were like, "Hey, come talk to us," and I'm like, "I really don't want to talk to people." I'm very introverted in real life, so a lot of times when people, especially when people are trying to sell me something, I'm like, "Oh no, No. So, but then they started talking about their message, and they're a charity that was founded after the death of a boy 11 years ago after he took his own life. And it's a charity dedicated to ending bullying and preventing suicide in children. And that's something that I dealt with a lot as a kid, especially in middle school, high school. And that's something a lot of my team has dealt with. And so I thought to myself, I can't, give any money right now. So I decided to try to find them online and see if they had an office in town. We could do an event. I can raise a little money for them. And so I emailed them because I couldn't find anything. And they said, well, we don't have an office. We just have a marketing agency there, which explains why I didn't really like them. And so we talked about doing an event for them in general. And I found out I was actually talking to the founder of the charity. He's the one that answers all of the emails.
Okay.
And it was actually his son that took his life about 11 years ago now. And he just took that pain and used it to create something so beautiful and helpful. And so we were talking, and then I realized that I was working on a book. I'm editing a book that would be perfect to go with this. So in BLEAKHEAVEN, we have our main title is Welcome to BLEAKHEAVEN Now. But we also have 3 other titles. We have another one I'm working on, which is a prequel to that main story called The Priest of BLEAKHEAVEN that'll take place in like the 80s. And then my wife is working on like an assassin thriller kind of more spy sort of thing called Marks. And then my good friend Donald Roos is working on this book called Credence. And I actually went to Donald asking him to make Credence because I really wanted to have a young adult novel or a young adult series for BLEAKHEAVEN, because I really think it's important for kids to have good entertainment and important for them to have things to look up to. And so he was developing that for about a year and a half before I ever met Kirk, who was the founder of Stand for the Silent. And I went to Donald and I'm like, we could do a book for them. And I told Kirk that, and I pitched it to him, and he loved the idea. And so this is our first like big deal book. So it's a young adult book where Bert the Mothman is the main character, and then it deals explicitly with bullying and feelings of depression and suicide.
Oh man, thank you so much for sharing that. Thank you so much for sharing the backstory of this beautiful product. That, man, this is really something really, really, really nice. And as you said, yeah, kids really need something to entertain them and look up to. Especially, it's a good wholesome thing. It's a real. I think I'm gonna run out of beautiful adjectives to say, but thank you so much for this.
Yeah.
And also, when's gonna plan to be released like that? Do we have other sneak peeks?
We have actually. I think I'll share the cover you did because it's super cool.
Thank you so
let me
much.
just pull that up real quick. Let me see. We might go through a few of my other images here. There's another one they did. If I can stop on it. This is one that we had another artist do for us.
It's a really cute version.
A little cute version of Bert. And then there's Walden's again.
Let's go back to Walden's.
Walden's okay. Yeah, this one's so cool. Like Walden does, like I love Walden's work because he did the cover for issue number 3 of Welcome to BLEAKHEAVEN, and he's done some trading card artwork for us as well. And I just love his art because it's like my characters in a very classic comic book style.
There you go. That's the one that I'm feeling right now. The classic thing.
Yeah. That's he is a very classic comic book style.
There you go. Do you feel that too? Like it's a classic style with this one?
Yeah, I think it kind of takes me back to my teenage years, I guess. comic book during
it's
that
the
time.
90s too.
Yeah, I guess.
that's
Yeah, I'm feeling like it's like sort of an early 2000 styles
Oh yeah,
in the
yeah,
late 80s to early 2000s. So
it makes sense. And look at this
yeah,
detail he gives on it too. Like it's just amazing. Like I look at this and I look at his like just this detail like behind him.
yeah,
All
it's
that
very,
like
very
that is
cool.
just
well, that's
he,
the man.
he has such great attention to all the details, and he's a really cool dude. He's actually we have our own podcast. And he's on 2 of those episodes. So if you want to hear him talk about all our other stuff, you can go there.
Okay, send me the link of your podcast, well, Stanley, and definitely we'll share it to our audiences
Oh,
too.
that'd be cool. And yeah, it's I had something to say and then I lost it. But I love this piece, and he just had it. He just finished it. Actually, this is our trading card for Bert. We have. I'm a big trading card fan, so we've been producing trading cards for our events in physical locations. We had a comic book signing where we started earlier this year, and we had the Skullivan, and then we had the villain from the second issue, and now we've got Bert. So I'm super excited to
Sweet.
get that going.
Oh, how is because we're gonna ask about the situation of events there in Utah, because here in the Philippines we still don't do
Still
conventions
locked down.
They're still on lockdown, but vaccines are starting to go up. People getting
That's awesome.
vaccinated. Yes, we're looking pretty good steadily. And so, in your place, you started to do conventions?
Yeah, we're starting up again. In Utah, we're about, I believe the statistic, don't fact check me on this, but I think we're about 70 to 80% vaccinated now.
Okay.
And so we're starting to open up more. It's not gone quite back to normal, but we're starting to do conventions now. We have, I have a whole event list. We're going to be going to the main Comic-Con. It's called FanX, which is one of the big like conventions. It's not quite as big as like San Diego or New York, but it's up there. And then we have the comic book or convention, Wasatch Comic-Con, which is more focused on comic book creators. I know Kevin Eastman usually goes to that one from Ninja Turtles, so that one should be a lot of fun to go to too.
Wow, that's something to look forward to, and new venues, new fans, new readers to check up on the BLEAKHEAVEN, what it's all about, and of course the new stuff that you had, and also those training. And man, God, I love and miss convention so much.
Hopefully someday we can meet each other at one. That'd be a lot of fun.
Yeah, definitely.
Man, I'm gonna switch over to the one you did. I don't know if it's on here. Let me see. I think I put it in a different spot. 1 second. But another really cool thing about this book is we are going to make it 100% free. We're going to be distributing it. They're going to be distributing it to schools and things, and we're going to be giving away copies. And on top of that, we're going to be putting it online as well. So we're going to put it to a YouTube video, so everybody will be able to just click a link and see it.
Yeah. So also, if it's gonna be on a YouTube video, they can have like a preview of what it's all about and the link. So it's gonna be digitally free as well.
Yeah, and there's yours.
Oh
there.
man, thank you.
So we're gonna make it 100% free.
All right. Oh, there you go. That's the thing that I did from them.
Yeah, that's some cool stuff. I love the pose you put Bert in. Like I love his style. It reminds me of like a really sleek animated.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, just that sleek animation, maybe like a Samurai Jack kind of feel. I like it a lot.
Thank you. So while we talk about it, hey, where is he fighting? Like in the graveyard, what's he fighting about? We got these
These monsters.
these monsters. I did this.
Yeah, they're cool. Those are some cool stuff, and those will be a part of the story as well.
All right.
Yeah,
That's Gio's desk. That's one of the hosts. He's not feeling kind of well because he got his second dose of vaccine. He's resting right now.
Yeah, you got to get rest from that.
Thank you so much for dropping by, and so much cool artwork and stuff to look forward to. And how about so you have this current issue? Is it still available?
This one, yeah, it's available online. Internationally, I have not figured out how to sell them yet because of different laws, and also I don't want to make you guys pay $1 billion in shipping. So,
That is right.
So there's some places you can look on it, kind of look at it online. I'm working on trying to figure out how to get it up and running. We're working on a lot of different stuff. You'll have to be patient with us, but we're hoping to get to an international audience because you guys would be great in the community, and I'm grateful for you letting me talk to your community, and we can kind of merge them.
Merge, definitely.
Yeah.
Merge it, and the result is like a beautiful friendship.
Yeah.
And also, I think I got memory loss. So what's the plan, and when is the Credence book going to be materialized? Is it soon?
That's a hard thing to say. It'll be by the end of the year for sure.
Mm-hmm.
So my initial plan was by August, but so getting artists to do things, at least the artists on my team, is like herding cats, or at least I would say that, but it's an insult to the cats. So they have a lot of stuff going on, and they do a lot of this work for. We're building the company together, so we have different deals and stuff, and they have we all work day jobs, that sort of thing. So they are currently working on Josh, the main artist. He did so Josh did the first art for this. He did the pencils and ink. He didn't do the color, but he's the pencil and inker, and he's kind of the head artist of BLEAKHEAVEN, and he did all this stuff. Yeah, there we go. You can see that. So he's working on issue number 3 of Welcome to BLEAKHEAVEN for the next one, and it will be a flip book too. And then Rufus, my other artist, Rufus did this one, did this side.
Wow.
And he's working on number 4. Oh, sorry, I'll pull that up again. So he actually colored this one as well. So he did all the artwork on it. But yeah, he did the coloring, the inking, and the pencil work. He's working on Welcome to BLEAKHEAVEN number 4, and then once they finish those, Josh will be doing the pencil work for Credence number 0.
Okay.
And Rufus will be doing the inking, and then the colorist on this, his name is Pibby. He'll be doing the coloring on Credence number 0 as well. So right now they're working on
different stuff,
BLEAKHEAVEN, but they're about to transition over to doing work on Credence. So, and Josh is actually taking a break from Welcome to BLEAKHEAVEN to do the A cover of number 0.
Wow. But thank you so much for that. You have pretty good timeline, and everybody's busy. And thank you for working on this. Man,
Oh, yeah. No
something
problem.
to really, really look forward to. Something for all the audiences and people, especially during the convention. Hey, before we do this, we end. Do you have like tips or special words of encouragement for upcoming artists? Like a word from you, Stanley, because you did such a beautiful thing. You BLEAKHEAVEN with its own world, and now you're doing another stuff under BLEAKHEAVEN with a good cause. Tips for everybody.
Tips. I don't feel super qualified, but I will talk about it.
Go for it, man.
The biggest thing I can say is if you want to do something, you've got to figure out what you have and what you can do and do that. Because initially I wanted to be a director. That was my end goal. And to an extent it still is. I do want to still work in film. But I couldn't do film. That's a really hard industry to break into. You can't just do it, you know. Nobody's going to walk up to you and say, "Hey, do you want $1 million to do this thing?" You have to take what you can. You have to make sacrifices, and you just got to work for it. And I was really lucky too, because I knew amazing artists from the beginning. Because my day job, I'm a video editor. And those videos are very art heavy. So I worked with these amazing artists already. And then I'm like, hey, I want to do this thing. Will you do it with me? And I was able to convince them somehow. And we got a book out. And then it just kept building. But and that's something that I've noticed is the more you do, the more credibility you give to yourself. And the more connections you'll make. Because like we're sitting here talking right now because of a lot of things, because I went out, I tried to do a comic book, and then I met Kirk from Stand for the Silent and wanted to help him out, and now you're coming to help out, and it just snowballs. So that's the advice I can do is like take what you have and do your best with it, and never stop improving yourself and improving your skill set. Those are the big things that I can say from this point.
There you go. Things are like a reaction, snowballing effect. Like, just put yourself out there. That's a good thing, and do what you love, and also don't hurt people.
Exactly. Yeah. Don't be a bully. That's a big thing.
Don't be a bully. Or Bert gonna do that to your head. I think that is it. Make any more follow-up questions, audiences?
Yeah, maybe I think just a quick question. So you mentioned earlier that you really wanted to be a director. So I think I just want to ask about the writing style that you have, because I actually saw your about page on your website that you have your own writing theory.
Oh, yeah.
Can you tell us more about those particular writing theory that you incorporate or you use it to come up with a story?
Let's see. That particular writing style, for everybody who's watching, my writing theory is that there's two sides to every story. There's the action-packed, exciting side, like the giant sharks or the explosions, aliens, whatever. And then the other side is what the story is actually about. What are the human elements that make a story worth telling? And that goes really well with the Stand for the Silence book, Credence Zero. It's about, on one side, a Mothman fighting these, what we're calling them, shadow walkers, these monster bugs, and they turn people into monsters. And on the other side, it's about people dealing with bullying. It's about people dealing with children, specifically dealing with the feelings that come with bullying, and dealing with depression and the feeling to take your own life. And so that's really where my writing style was born. Especially in college, I kind of realized that. And after I read a bunch and studied, I kind of picked these things out, and I realized that these two sides of a story make a good story. And you can kind of mix and match whatever you want. So, for example, Jaws is a movie that's constantly ripped off because, how many Sharknado or whatever, all those different shark movies, that stemmed from Jaws. But the thing that they didn't rip off was the human emotion of a man trying to find his way in the world. And so, I don't know, I think I'm rambling, but I might have covered your question in that ramble.
Yeah, I think you answered it beautifully, and I really find it interesting to have that kind of writing style, because I think I do incorporate this kind of style, mainly because it's way simpler, and I mean, you don't have to think of other elements to make a beautiful story, right?
Mhm.
So I guess that's what's great about it.
Well, thank
And
you.
yeah,
And that's kind of with my other part of my style is I try really hard to simplify things. And as the head editor or the editor in chief at Bleakhaven with the other writers and stuff, my main goal is to simplify all the stories. I'm like, okay, what is the main elements? What can we take out? What do we need to add? So with the two sides of the story and simplification, that's sums up my writing style really succinctly, I think.
All right, I think that's a good thing. Yeah, because the simpler is, the more people gonna understand and feel what you wanted to put into your work, and they definitely will have deeper understanding on the work itself. I think that's a really good. It's a good thing for your job, right? That. Wow,
Thank
thank
you.
you. Yeah, thank you so much for answering, and I'm really happy that we have this a moment in our Indie Comics podcast. And I think we have to say goodbye now. All beautiful things must come to an end. I'm very, very sorry, audiences. But I think maybe if you will have this new thing need to promote on the future, would you be able to jump back in again?
Yeah, of course. I'd love to come back. This was a lot of fun.
Thank you so much. And I think that is it for our episode for the Bleak Haven. I hope you guys enjoyed the world building that they did, and more from them in the future for credence. And I think have a good morning, enjoy your Sunday, and have a good night.
Thank you. Good morning to you guys, and hopefully we'll talk again soon.
All right, thank you so much, and bye, comics people.
yeah, see you soon.